So marriage is a union between man and woman to grow old together. Marriage is not a union for lust, sexual lust. I'm telling you. There's a story of a lovely lady who was bringing up 3 very lovely girls. No, I'm messing with you. Sister says to me, she said, I'm talking to brother so-and-so. I said, well, that's nice. So I always ask, so a few weeks later, I said, well, how's brother so-and-so and you doing? She says, oh, he's okay. So I think it was me and Lava. I think it was me and you. And she says, well, there is one thing. I said, what is it? She says, well, when he gets angry, he calls me a bee. I said, he calls you a what? She said, a bee. Beach. Yeah, beach. B-E-A-C-H. She calls me that. I said, really? I said, so what do you plan on doing? She says, well, I'm going to try and work it out. And I said, you're stupid, sister. You're stupid. He just told you he's not ready to be married. He's not husband material. If he's calling you a B-I-T-C-H now, and y'all not married, imagine you get married and he get mad at you. That hand, the left hand, might start doing the talking. You never know. You never know. So we put sister on warning. But you know, some of these women, they hard up, they lonely, and they lustful. What does she do? She gets married anyway. She go, I was married now.
Hold a second, Bishop. I want to understand. So your brothers gave her counsel not to marry, and she went ahead. Yes. I know somebody doing that right now.
Yeah,
right now.
Me too, Bishop. I know somebody who's doing that right now.
Right now, I know somebody doing that right now.
So that's going to make for a very toxic marriage. And guess what? When you come for counsel, we're going to go, no. Bye-bye. Y'all go work it out yourselves.
I hope they're listening.
I hope they're listening.
I hope whoever I'm talking about, and I know, I hope you're in this class right now. Because you simple as up, man. That's right. Counsel, bye-bye.
Bishop, you notice that your case is not my case. You know that, right?
Huh?
The one you're talking about is not mine.
Case. I know that.
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody here knows who I'm talking about. I'm talking about, whatever.
So,
receive the word of God.
Exactly, yeah. Receive the word. So the reasons behind many toxic marriages is that they're often unequally yoked, okay? Meaning one person's trying to do what the scripture is saying, the other person is not. He or she won't do what the Bible, they'll read the Bible, but they won't do the Bible. Oh, I like that. Yeah, they'll read the Bible, but they won't do the Bible. They won't do nothing it says. So that's going to make for a very toxic marriage. And you'll have them in the congregations, and then you'll start to see problems in the body. And you'll find out that man or woman is toxic because they're in a toxic relationship. So they bring that toxicity, is that a word? Yeah. If it ain't, I just made it up. They're going to bring it over here to the brothers, to the body. Watch this. Give me 2 Corinthians 6 and 14. 2 Corinthians 6 and 14.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers.
Just because they're in here, brothers and sisters, don't mean they believe. Some people are here for advantage sake. Some people just like, I'm going to tell you, some brothers and sisters, this is what they do. They have a business that's not doing good. There's a few videos out there, and they'll look at the photos on Facebook and start to count each member. They'll go, wait, if I join with them, you know how much money I can make?
Yeah, that's right.
All I got to do is sell one shirt. One shirt. That's their mindset. And you'll see them as they come in, and those are the ones that never donate. They'll have we're having a Black Wall Street. They never donate to the church. Never, ever, ever. Nothing. But they make all the money off the body. I don't care how good the product is. Brothers, sisters, you got to spot those spirits. Spot those spirits. Okay, read that again.
Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers.
Just because a brother got fringes and a border blue, likewise, sister got fringes and a border blue, don't mean they believe. Go ahead.
For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness?
Right, there's no fellowship there. Go ahead.
And what communion hath light with darkness? And what concord hath Christ with Belial.
Yeah, Belial's another name for the devil. And don't you women, don't be naming your son Belial. Okay? I met a sister. What's your baby name? Belial. You stupid as hell. I said, then what's your name? Shaquita. Oh, God. Read that again.
And what concord hath Christ with Belial? Or what part hath he that believeth with an infidel?
The word infidel means unbeliever. Go to, keep reading.
Verse 16. And what agreement hath the temple of God with idols?
What agreement does the temple of God have with idols? Go ahead.
For ye are the temple of the living God.
Brothers and sisters, we are the temple of the living God. Go ahead.
As God hath said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people.
Right. So when it says they shall be my people, it's referring to the nation of Israel again. It's not talking about all races, all nations. Go ahead.
Wherefore, come out from among them.
Come out from among them. The non-believers, separate yourselves from them. Go ahead.
And be ye separate,
Uh-huh.
saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you.
And this is where many problems come in. Women and men meet the opposite sex. And I shouldn't have to say that, but I think in today's society, I do need to say marriage is between those of the opposite sex, not same sex. I shouldn't have to say, it should be a given. But in today's climate, you never know what's going on in people's minds. All right, read that again.
Wherefore, come out from among them and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing.
So you meet people that don't believe. They're unclean. They don't believe in this truth, but yet and still you want to marry them. Don't do it. There are sisters that bring men in off the street. They met a dude on the train or the bus. She's going to convince him to come into the truth. Sis, don't do that. Don't do that. You playing yourself. There are women and his brothers in New York, meet sisters on the train. Convince the sister to come into the truth. Now, it might seem admirable, but no, it's not. I'm going to tell you why. He never says, here's a flyer, come to the school. He gets the phone number. He's always calling her. His purpose is sexual. His purpose is lust. It ain't so much marriage because he just met on the train. How much marriage is that? But he's going to convince her to come to the school, then announce a week later, we married now. Then the marriage falls apart. We see it all time and time again. And he's depressed, sitting in the corner like a sad puppy. Brother, you simple as hell. All these sisters that have been here for years, you're going to meet some hoochie mama on the train and try to marry her. You simple. Don't do that. Okay, she don't know she don't believe this book yet. She's not been proven. Okay, read on.
Touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you, and will be a father unto you, and ye shall be my sons and daughters, saith the Lord Almighty.
Give me 1 Corinthians 7 and 12. So now, let me say this. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, listen good to what I'm saying, deals with the unequally yoked marriages. Matthew 19 deals with the same mindset marriages, meaning believing woman, believing man. You know, it says what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. That's talking about marriages in the Lord. That is not what Paul is addressing here in 1 Corinthians 7:12 down. Paul is addressing what we just read in 2 Corinthians 6 about the unequal yoke of marriages. One brother, they hear the word, whether it's a brother or sister, one party believes and says, you know what? I believe that Bible. So Paul's going to address those relationships. Go ahead.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 12. But to the rest speak I, not the Lord. If any brother hath a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away.
So this is the type of unbeliever that does not believe the Bible, but they want to keep the marriage together. They say, I don't believe it, but whatever you say, I'm going to do because I do love you and I want to keep our marriage together. So Paul says not to separate from that person. Don't put her away. Go ahead.
And the woman which hath an husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him.
So the same vice versa. Now it's the man's side. He don't believe, but guess what? He really loves that woman. He said, babe, I love you. I want to keep our marriage together. All right? So I don't believe the Bible, but, you want me to do something? I'll come up and visit on the Sabbath. I'll do all that. I don't believe it, though, but for you, I'm going to do it. So that's what Paul is addressing. And the concept of, I've heard some brothers on YouTube say, no, it means they really don't believe and they're eating pork and swine and celebrating Christmas. That's not what it's saying. As we read down, it's going to prove that's not what it's saying. Go ahead.
For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife.
Why? Because he may start to believe. Go ahead.
And the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband.
Why? Because she might start to actually believe. Go ahead.
Else were your children unclean.
That's the point right there. You see that part? Else were your children unclean. If one party is still in the strip clubs, celebrating Christmas, your children are what? Unclean. Meaning they don't know what's going on in their head. Okay? But if both parties are celebrating the same holidays, speaking the same things, eating the same foods, the children will be clean. They'll be one single-minded. But when you're unequally yoked, he's doing one thing, she's doing something completely different, and the kids is watching, listening to this, he or she is confused. Read that bottom part again. Else
were your children unclean, but now are they holy.
But suppose that don't work. It's still not working. Paul hits it home in verse 15.
But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart.
He says, but if that unbelieving person does not believe, they want to leave, let them go. Go ahead.
A brother or a sister.
So this goes both ways, brothers and sisters. A brother or a sister, go ahead,
is not under bondage.
Meaning bondage of marriage. Don't try to hold them to that. Go ahead.
In such cases.
Especially, I've heard brothers, you know one part of the marriage don't believe. Then you want to bring in Matthew 19, where God is joined together, let no man put us in. Stop. That's not what Matthew 19 is dealing with. That's talking about believers. Christ was addressing believers. Okay? Paul is addressing the unequal yoked marriage. That's what this verse 15 again.
But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. A brother or a sister is not under bondage in such cases. But God hath called us to peace.
You see that part? God has called us to peace because the unequally yoked marriage is what? Toxic. Fighting. Arguing, fussing, and fighting. That's why he said God called us in His truth to be of peace of mind. He didn't. You have peace in the congregation. You go home with a dragon. You're fighting in the car on the way home because that person don't believe and they want out. Let them go, Paul says. Let them go. Everybody understand that? Yes, sir. Okay, from there. Give me Sirach 6. Now, before we get to Sirach 6, one problem is some marriages are based on money. Let me tell you, sisters, something. I'm going to go with the sisters for a second. Sisters like to marry brothers with potential. He ain't got it going on now, she says in her mind, but he has potential. Now, that's fine, sisters. I'm going to give you some gold nuggets today. Just listen good, take good notes. It's okay to marry a man because he has potential. That's good. But marrying for potential is a gamble. You're gambling with your life if you're going to marry him for potential. He might be an up-and-coming ball player, football player, rapper. I'm just throwing, the career could be anything. Some things are based on percentages of age. And I'm explaining what I mean by that. For you sisters that want to gamble. If he's in his 20s, sister, if he's in his 20s, he's aspiring to get a certain career. He has a 50% chance of success. 50% if he's in his 20s. If he's in his 30s, now the clock is going higher now. If he's in his 30s, he has a 40% chance of success in a particular career. 40%. If he's in his 40s, he has a 30% chance. of success. Notice the age is getting higher, the percentile is getting lower. If he's in his 50s, you got a 20% chance of him attaining to that particular career he wants. 20%. If he's in his 60s, he got 10%. And if he's in his 70s, oh, forget it. You're wasting your time. So be careful when you marry somebody who has potential. Things can go either way when you marry for potential.
Now they will see the true men of God. We are not black men, we are the Israelites. That's right. Take care of us. Take care of us. And our children too. And our children too. We have repented. We have repented. How about you? How about you? People want to know who's the king.
O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father. O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father.
Now why they trying to make it so hard to serve God? And why when I say that I'm a Jew, it sound odd? For years I've been walking around saying that I'm a black man. I ain't saying that no more, it sound wrong, man.
This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcast, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.